Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Weird World Podcast. I'm Carrie.
I'm Dean.
And I've got Lily on my lap. Oh,
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Today, Carrie, we are going to have a weird bit. It is going to be a quick update, a semi-quick update on 3i Atlas that the world is obsessing over lately.
Okay.
It is probably not the last update, but it is interesting because some things happened. The comet came out from behind the sun earlier than usual, which we covered at the end of our last one, or during our episode about 3i, our full episode about 3i Atlas. But so one of the things that happened over the weekend past here was that Avi Loeb had a comment. He's, of course, as I just mentioned, he's the person who's been peddling this idea that is an interplanet but everyone else, all experts and all astronomers and astrophysicists think is a comet, an unusual comet, but a comet, the third interstellar body to pass into our solar system. Avi Loeb keeps on saying, no, hey, here's some interesting things. I think it's an alien spacecraft. And he lately has said that, oh my gosh, look, the 3i Atlas is losing massive amounts of mass as it passes out from behind the sun, including maybe the contention that it could have exploded into multiple pieces, and that this is evidence that it was much, much bigger than everybody's saying. Remember, one of his anomalies was that, it's really big, and no one else agreed. His estimate of its size was significantly larger than anyone else's estimate of its size. And so he's sort of saying, look, it is this big because it's losing so much mass. And here's the key is his contention is based on, of course, very complex, very, very esoteric calculations and a field of study, astronomy and astrophysics, that very, very few people know. Virtually no one in his audience can refute him, which is critical.
Yeah.
So one thing he's saying, it's very, very large. Another thing he's saying, look, it has an anti-tail. It's showing what we talked about before, which is a known phenomenon where the tail of a comet kind of goes backwards, but it's happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 days ago, he was talking about, look, the first pictures of the Atlas from coming out of the sun showed it didn't have a tail. Now it's showing a tail again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, look, that's unusual. Wow. So kind of implying that this anti-tail is weird and different, and therefore it kind of also, it could be an indication that it's a spaceship. He never says this right out. Remember, he made that infamous 30 to 40% likelihood that that's a spaceship, which is just a ridiculous number that I was asked. But again, I mention this because this is kind of a classic thing. When you're shown to be wrong, if you are, I don't know, is Avi Loeb guilty of confirmation bias? Is he guilty of sloppy work? Is he guilty of effectively grifting? He's promoting alien life is what he does. He's written a best-selling book about the search for extraterrestrial life is what he does at Harvard, is where a lot of his income comes from. I'm not saying he's a grifter, but I'm saying he kind of walks and talks and acts like one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an example. So when you're proven to be wrong, you don't acknowledge, I was wrong, my bad. You just go on to the next contention. That's what he's doing here. And then he also says that, here's a good one. At its perihelion distance, the sun provided 700 joules per square meter per second. This means that the absorbing area of 3i Atlas must have been larger than 617 square miles, which is roughly equivalent to a diameter of 14.3 miles. I don't know what any of that means. You don't know what any of that means. 99.9% of the people hearing that or reading that in his blog, he writes on his Medium blog every single day.
Yeah.
He's been writing nothing but about 3i Atlas. And that's what he kind of, the problem, and that may be true. I don't know. That may be right. That may be meaningful. The problem is he doesn't have the credibility any longer to make us want to believe him. So that's the problem when you do cry wolf 157 times. When you have a point, it's difficult to believe you. And that's what Avi Loeb, I think, has done to himself with people who are looking at him honestly. He knows most of his audience is people who are guilty of the same kind of confirmation bias he may be guilty of, which they really desperately want to believe it's a UFO. I really desperately would want this to be a UFO. I know a lot of our listeners who believe in UFOs is, you're full of shit. You're a skeptic. No, I would love it to be a UFO, but I have to be convinced. I don't want to be lied to, and I'm not going to be grifted.
Yeah. I also think if it does turn out that some interstellar object enters our solar system and actually is a UFO, the actual experts and astronomers are going to
the best day of their lives.
Exactly.
Assuming it's friendly or doesn't do anything,
whatever.
doesn't interact at all. It would be every astronomer and every astrophysicist would kill to find evidence of extraterrestrial life, but they aren't willing to lie to do so. Like I think Avi Loeb appears to be willing.
And those are the people who they're not immediately, when they see something anomalous, they're not going to shout UFO. They're going to say, this is anomalous. We need to look at it. We need to study it. It's going to begin quietly, I would think.
I think so too. And or it would begin with
depending on what it
acknowledges,
is.
That's weird. When it's only Avi Loeb in terms of among reputable astrophysicists, and he is a reputable astrophysicist, when it's only him saying these things, that should be a tell. And he does another thing that I think is also a tell that I'd lean toward the grift as opposed to the confirmation bias. He says that essentially he's not willing to rule out that 3i Atlas may be, quote, something other than a natural comet, and says if upcoming observations will reveal that 3i Atlas was not decimated by the sun and maintained its integrity as a single body. So in other words, he's saying essentially it's kind of a heads I win, tails you lose kind of thing. He's saying, oh, look, I think it blew up and disintegrated, which means it had to have been much bigger. And he said in the past, that's an indication it's UFO. Now he's saying, but wait, if it comes out on the other side and it didn't blow up and it's smaller, that's an indication that it's a UFO. He's literally saying that, that's because then, therefore, all this energy would have to be signs of an engine. So he really is literally saying, I'm right or I'm right.
Right.
No matter what happens, he'll make himself right.
That's how I feel a lot of the time too.
Do you?
I'm right or I'm right.
I feel like Avi Loeb and people like him feel like that.
I'm right or you're wrong.
Of the time. The problem is, of course, that we're left with this kind of classic, honestly, grifter's proposition, which is sort of prove me wrong. And he knows that, again, virtually his entire audience cannot prove him wrong. We simply don't have the expertise to do so. So we're screwed, right? What can we do? We can't prove him wrong. I suspect strongly he's wrong, but I can't contend with him on these very, very esoteric, detailed, complex. Oh, wait, that's right. We have all the other scientists who are actually looking at this from an aspect of, I will follow the evidence where it leads, which is what science does.
So I was going to say, we don't need to.
We don't need to, but thank God someone did. So a Professor Jason Wright of Penn State, he's a professor of astronomy and astrophysics. He is he heads up this, he's a member of the Center for Exoplanets and Habitable Worlds. So he's studying that similar kind of area that Avi Loeb is. He's a principal investigator of a major NASA group. It has a bunch of letters because it's a government group, but he's a person that he also won SETI's 2019 Drake Award. I have no idea what it is. I assume it's not named after the Canadian rapper, but I don't know that for a fact.
I do.
It's probably so. So he, remember we mentioned earlier in the previous episode that Avi Loeb set up 10 reasons he thinks, 10 anomalies that he thinks indicate that 3i Atlas is a alien spaceship, effectively, as you have to say. So what Jason Wright did, which he went through every single one of them and point by point said, sort of demystified them. Like, for instance, one of the big ones that sounds super technical. Avi Loeb says the retrograde trajectory is aligned to within 5 degrees with the ecliptic plane of the planets around the sun, with a likelihood of 0.2%.
Oh, geez. Okay.
It's very technical.
Yeah.
So what Jason Wright says is, to paraphrase Einstein, his math is fine, but his statistics are atrocious. So basically, he didn't predict this ahead of time. He took a weird characteristic of 3i Atlas and said, oh, it must be an alien spaceship. It must be unnatural. It's not something real. As opposed to saying, hey, if an interstellar body comes by and it shows this characteristic, that would be an indication it's an alien spacecraft. He found the characteristic and said, that's an indication of it's an alien spacecraft. Is sort of is a classic fallacy that is not uncommon. You essentially take the answer and apply that sort of backwards to what something that's not making sense, is it? I can tell from the look in your face.
Kind of.
I'm not getting through. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
So basically, Jason Wright said that, I'll read him what he says. His critique of this method is, of Loeb's method. He says, if someone had predicted ahead of time what the properties of a spacecraft would be like and it matched them, then they'd be onto something, right? He says, a spacecraft would do this. Right. Oh, look, 3i Atlas does this. Loeb didn't do that.
He did that backwards.
He did it exactly
Yeah.
backwards. He chose specific aspects of 3I Atlas and said, that's what a spaceship would be.
Okay.
So cut out all this stuff before.
Yeah. Based on his own criteria, not anybody else's.
Why is that a spaceship thing?
Because
This
we wouldn't have
It's not
criteria.
at all. It's not at all. Is it unusual for a comet? Yes. Is it an indication of an alien spacecraft? No. Why?
Yeah.
There's no reason to think that.
Yeah.
So he goes through all of them. I'm not going to go through all 10 of them. When he does talk about the anti-tail, the toward the sun anti-tail, and Loeb says that wasn't an optical illusion from a geometric perspective, unlike familiar comets. And Jason Wright says, it's not unique. We've seen that before. He also falsely claims he's the first to explain why this might happen naturally, when in fact, this has been understood for 50 years. So he's saying this is unnatural, and it's rare, but not unnatural and not unusual. And he's saying, well, I just figured this out, and it's been known for half a century.
Yeah.
So there's other things too. He's just made Jason Wright, according to Jason Wright, he says his math and some of these things is just flat wrong. And then others I found out interesting. He says, yeah, that is unusual. You're right. But it's A, not unheard of.
Yeah.
And B, we would expect to see different things from, well, again, it's only the third interstellar body ever in the history of our solar system. Again, all other comets are from within our solar system. This is something that's different.
But that's the thing. I don't know how anybody, even experts on astronomy and physics and everything else, and space travel, how they could say what they know characteristics of an alien spacecraft would be, because we've never seen one.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We know what the characteristics of spacecraft would be, like a space shuttle or an Apollo 13 or whatever we've done, but we don't.
We have no
idea what
it could be on something
it could be made out of jelly and
I would say
be translucent. I mean,
I think that's going to be the next hit science fiction movie. Is going to be a spaceship made out of jelly.
But that part is dumb because
I think it's great.
We would have no idea.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's nuts. He does that though. He does that a lot. He does again. He uses these kind of just bad logic. Remember, another one was that the nickel, and it has more nickel, a ratio of nickel to iron is unusual. Yes. And that's what Jason Wright says. He says, yeah, here's a quote. This is a genuine anomaly in the sense that it's an extreme value, but it's also something very consistent with what we know about comets. There's no standard ratio of nickel to cyanide or nickel to iron in comets. They vary a lot.
Right.
And this is just at the edge of what we have observed.
Yeah.
It's like saying, the tallest man in the world, I think his name is Robert Wardlow, is 8'11". So Avi Loeb is saying, look, he's 8'11". That's crazy tall. He must be an alien.
Yeah.
It's literally like that. And that's what and if you don't know, most people can go, no, I mean, we know that guy. We understand the pituitary gland and things like that, why he's so high. You just ignore all of that and say he's an alien. If you don't understand a little bit of why that guy was so high and that he's tall, sorry, keep on saying that. He's so tall. He may have been high too. I don't know his personal life. But if you don't understand that, and again, in astrophysics, we don't understand it. So you just, when Loeb says something like that, 99.9% of us are going to go, I have to,
I guess he's
can't
right.
refute that. And so that's why I keep on harping on credibility.
Yeah.
Even if Avi Loeb says something that is right, I can't believe him. I'm going to need someone else because he has lost his credibility. I'll need someone else with actual credibility to tell me that he does really find an anomaly, if he ever does, that is truly indicative of a spaceship or something unnatural. So he also makes some contentions that he knows just are not true. He says that the comet arrived from a direction coincident with the wow signal to within 9 degrees, which is a likelihood of 0.6%. The wow signal was something anomalous, that is a sound from deep, deep space that we still don't completely, I don't know if we've ever done it here. Maybe we'll do it. Two things are going on here. That one, Jason Wright says, quote, this is ridiculous. 9 degrees from the wow signal is a long, long way. This is space. 9 degrees. Oh my God, it's right from there. He says, in other words, it very definitely did not come from the direction of the wow signal. It's just somewhere vaguely near. It's like part of the sky, and degrees over, and a different part of the sky is something, that's not that far away. It must be from the wow civilization, is what Avi Loeb is trying to imply.
Okay.
And the other thing is that the most recent test of the wow signal have not been indicative that it is anomalous and may come from intelligent life. We don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not promising.
Mhm.
And so he's saying two things. One is like he's assuming you think if you're a UFO aficionado, you've heard the RAL symbol, you probably believe it is a signal from a alien civilization. It may not be. It probably is not, but it may be. And then you have to believe him that he's clearly implying it came from this alien civilization that it's pretty dishonest because he knows what this is an example of. He's making a contention that he knows is not true.
Yeah.
And he's using his expertise and his knowledge of something that's very foreign to most people to take advantage of people. I'm just not a fan of that. So basically, of the 10 anomalies, Jason Wright said only three of them are like truly anomalous. The others are mostly just wrong. And of those three, it's sort of like, again, not to beat it up, but yeah, no shit. We should expect things that are a little different or at the extremes of cometary behavior. Cometary behavior? I don't know if that's a word or not. And then just in today, I read in Wired magazine, they got the first radio signals from 3i Atlas as it is passing a little bit. It's getting every day. It's getting a little further away from the sun because it's passed from behind it. And you might say, radio signals?
It's transmitting radio signals?
Avi Loeb was right. It's an alien spacecraft. Wait, no. Radio signals, it's different. It's an observatory in South Africa detected these. It uses radio signals and it pings them off of objects out in space and uses those radio signals to, in this case, kind of understand more about its composition of what it's made of. And in this kind of a test, this observatory in South Africa got back a hit on OH absorption. I don't know what the fuck that is. OH is hydroxyl radicals. Again, I don't know what that is, but those are completely predictable and expected as a comet. It's just one more nail.
I was going to say, they know what it is. Yes. And if it was something alarming, they would have.
And it's essentially just, okay, this is another reason to believe it's a comet. It's acting in ways that are almost always indicative of a comet. It's made of things that comets can be made of. It's just, it does have some characteristics that are at the extremes of variance of comets. None of them, though, in any way or shape or form, are so absurd that they indicate it can't be a comet and therefore it's an alien craft? No, and therefore it's something we don't know.
Right.
It's something new to our solar system. Great. That's fascinating. Doesn't mean it's an alien craft. It's he's 6 degrees away from any kind of foundation in science, his contention of Avi Loeb of this being an alien craft. He's just, and so I don't know if it's confirmation bias. I don't know if it's a pure grift. He did write a bestseller called Extraterrestrial, The First Sign of Intelligent Life. I haven't read it. But I mean, he is to some degree. This is what makes him popular and puts some money in his pocket. I'm not trying to, there's nothing wrong with that if you're being honest. I would contend he's not being very honest.
Right.
So nail in the coffin for Avi Loeb, though, was I just found out on his recent blog, whatever he does, he was responding. He's talking about how he's talking about 3i Atlas again. That's all he's talking about lately. And he noted that a recent celebutante named Kim Kardashian recently asked Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation and the temporary head of Atlas, and of course his qualifications, remember, is being on Road Rules, the reality show on MTV, which absolutely qualifies to be the head of NASA. For sure, the connection is obvious. So he said that Kim Kardashian says, wait, what's the T on 3i Atlas? As you recall, this is the exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, etc. Literally, I believe 13 or so exclamation and question marks. And Avi Loeb's response was that he would love to bring Kim Kardashian up to date regarding all the anomalies we know so far about 3i Atlas. And he said she'd make a great member of his research team. Kim Kardashian would be a great member of his research team.
Well, she's a budding lawyer, so oh my God. I don't think she could be a lawyer and space.
She probably
researcher.
could. I feel like she could.
What would we call her?
Most of her day is just setting up the lighting to pose for a picture, touch it up a little bit, put it on social media. That probably does take several hours a day. Yeah. But I think she's so brilliant that I think she could be a lawyer and a astrophysicist. and apparently I swear to God, she's looking more like she might just be an actual statue. She might be an animatron. I don't know, but she doesn't look real.
I thought she just gave up on the law thing, but Emma said no.
Did she?
Emma said she's still she doesn't think she's taken the bar exam yet.
Wait, she's actually gone to law school?
Yeah, that's what Emma said.
What law school?
I don't know.
That a law school accepted her?
When I first heard about her doing this, I guess there is a route to becoming a lawyer that doesn't require you to go to law school.
Well, that's not
that you just work under some, it's kind of like an apprenticeship with an actual lawyer.
Century.
No, you can still do that.
That's
today.
So wrong.
But you still have to pass the bar. I mean, you still have to learn enough to pass the bar, and in California, that's very difficult. So I don't know.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Here, I have a story here for you. Kim Kardashian's bar results revealed after law school program. She graduated from her law program in May after 6 years. I don't know what her law program was. Shared the results of her California bar exam, the final step in her process. Hold on here.
Oh, so she has taken it.
I guess. Bar exam, 6 months. It just says after graduating from her law school program. But it doesn't say any kind of a law school. So maybe that's not a law school if that's what she did.
Yeah, they might be talking about whatever apprenticeship program or whatever they call it.
But it's not saying what they revealed she sadly did not pass the all-important exam, but she wasn't calling quits. 6 years in this law journey, and I'm still all in until I pass the bar. No shortcuts, no giving up, just more studying and even more determination. Well, good for her.
Yeah, there's no shame in not passing the California bar exam.
Oh, God, no. It's California law.
Very hard.
It's like 50-50.
Yeah.
It's very difficult law. It's not like some of these things in
Yeah.
Florida. I think it's like, print your name here, son. You're a lawyer. So falling short isn't failure, it's fuel. I was so close to passing the exam. We don't know that. And that only motivates me even more. She's not saying what her score was. I don't know if they tell you how close you were.
Oh, they must.
Or not. She is playing a very well-dressed lawyer on TV, though, currently. So I think that's fair. That's you know what? Close enough. Maybe in 10 years, I think I'll give up being Kim K and be a trial lawyer.
In 10 years?
10 years. She said, that's what I really want. I always want to be growing, curious, and evolving, and I want to see wherever that takes me. Okay, well, I guess that's a weird way to end our 3i Atlas update.
This is your weekly Kim Kardashian update.
Maybe we'll do more of that. I don't know. Good for her. I hope she passes.
Yeah.
Again, it's interesting to have an article that says multiple times her law school program and never says what law school she was in. So I don't think she really was in.
Yeah, that is
or her law program, I think it said. So that's a little tricky wordage there.
Yeah, I don't think she actually went to law school.
Yeah, not a good sign. Okay. Well, thank you for listening to that. Again, we still have some more 3i Atlas. Will still be its closest period to Earth is going to be on December 19th. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Christmas time update.
Woohoo!
If we find anything that is worth bringing to you. All right. See ya.
Thanks.